Good evening, guys. God bless y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to another Friday Night Lives, right? Hopefully, you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't have my headphones on. I was literally thinking a couple days ago, I was like, why do I even put the headphones on? Usually, it's when, if we have like a guest or something, that's when the headphones come into play. But I hope you guys can hear me pretty good. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Sounds fine. Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to today's episode. We're gonna try to make this one short and sweet. Hopefully fun. Again, I do appreciate you guys joining. So we're gonna start with, as usual, the week recap. Right, this whole week has been pretty good. Had a couple maintenances. I had a couple details. Plus, I have a what you guys call a disaster detail, which is literally waiting for me to be worked on. Yesterday, we started on the exterior. Yeah, this thing it's a lot of work. It needs a lot of attention, but I'm excited. I think tomorrow we're gonna begin the interior on this project to at least get get started on it, right? Told the client, there's no deadline to this one. It's more of like it's on my time due to the amount of there's so much built up in this vehicle that it's we're just gonna take our time. But I think we will begin tomorrow. Finally, the fun part, right? Phase one is going to be, I think. Well, I don't even want to tell you what all I'm gonna do. But we are definitely going to be recording some content. And a lot of you guys that ask me like, hey, are you going to be doing some content for this one? And the answer to that is yes. It'll be hopefully a fun one, right? I definitely want to just have fun with it. That's one of the reasons why we are your washer machine stopped. Yes. But we also ordered some new tools to play with for this interior. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. One of the tools that I purchased was the I finally bought the Tornador air tool, and then I also bought this one. Well, I haven't bought it yet, but I borrowed it. One of my detailing friends had it with him, and he said he's never used it. So we're also going to be playing with the Tornador Velocity Vac. But I think I needed the Tornador Black, the one with the metal canister, because I feel like this equipment is made for that one, but ain't nobody got time. Well, one, the cost of the Tornador Black is like $200. So for that, I'm out. But I think this tool here, or this this accessory is made for the one with the metal tubing. But I might. I'm probably just gonna save up for that one and then finally buy it. Funny story is I used to have all this stuff, and a while back, I gave it all away. A detailer, I saw the need, and I gave him that stuff, and here we are needing that stuff all over again. But I don't have it. So, but yeah, so a detailer friend, let me borrow the vac. I was having some issues. If you have ever used this, have you ever used it with the regular Tornador air tool? That's not it's the plastic tubing. I was having issues with it spinning correctly on that specific tool. Um, and I think that's one of the reasons why I was like, shoot, I think I have to give in and buy the one with the metal tubing. But I, I'm sorry, I just can't justify the $200 price on that tool. But it's like I do need it for it to work properly with that, right? But hopefully it works at least to what I'm needing it for. But yeah, I bought the Tornador Air Tool, which was only like $50, I think. Which that one is priced very fair. About to listen to Carlos while putting up uneaten barbecue. What up, Franco? But that is pretty much the week's recap, right? Today I had people saw this detail that I have outside, and I started getting some questions. So, the first topic I would love to talk about is one of the best things that I'm good at, and that is interiors, right? A lot of guys have inboxed me literally from putting that vehicle. Um, and the question that was asked is, why do you love interior so much? They don't pay enough. Which I was like, okay, right? And then his second question was, how can I obtain better clients paying interiors? Because in my area, they don't want to pay um, like a bigger amount, right? So I'll begin with this topic, and the answer to that question that I was at that they asked me was, I've been working. I've been working. Well, I worked at a car wash. Car wash was my first job, right? And I started vacuuming cars, and then they moved me up to salesman, and then they moved me up to detailing. And detailing is right where kind of I started falling in love with doing interiors, right? And obviously back then at the car wash, we didn't have like a lot of tools, if that makes sense. We were working with just bare um, but I started to fall in love with interiors so much. And throughout like my career at the car wash, like the way a car wash works is, it's whatever jobs comes in. If you're good at, if one of the top guys that knows how to do everything good, they put you in first, right? So one of the things that my mentor taught me, the manager, was, he wanted to make sure that I got my hours, and he taught me how to do everything, right? And as soon as that first interior, and as soon as that interior came in, they would pull me out and I would get to work, right? And that's truly where I started falling in love with interiors. Now we transition over to now, right? To where we are today. Um, when I started my business, I was only charging like I think $50 or $60 for a interior detail, right? And that interior included like shampooing the carpets, the seats, the mats, scrubbing everything, like everything I do today. But I was literally giving it away. When I started my business, I was not educated on pricing. I was just kind of winging it, doing my research a little bit, and you know, at that point, obviously, I had just quit my job, no money. I didn't have nothing saved. I was just like, I'm gonna jump into it, right? But throughout my journey as a detailer, right, I started learning about charging accordingly, right? I used to my interiors included literally a wax on the outside, interiors, the engine bay. Like I was giving you everything for like $60. Again, I was new to being like my own boss, right? Or being in business. I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. But that's where we started, right? And if this is gonna go to my advice to a lot of people who want to get into the detailing side, or doing interior details. And welcome everybody. I shout out to the 19 of you watching. I would greatly appreciate it. But if there's any advice I can give you is truly master interiors. If right now you're not getting paid accordingly, it could fall down to maybe the presentation or maybe how you're presenting it to your clients. A lot of the times, you are probably not presenting it correctly to them to where they don't see the value, right? Because at the end of the day, the value, if you do not put the value, the clients are literally just going to go to the next car detailer. On average, now, by the time the customer inboxes me, I'm usually about the third or fourth car detailer that they've spoken to. And I always hear it. Wow, you are the most expensive one of all that I've talked to. You know, and this might sound wrong, but it's like I take pride in that, because now I value myself, I value my time, but I value the quality, and the overall experience that I bring to a lot of my clients, right? On average, I think here the average detailer is around like 200 to 250. The cheapest one is probably like $80. I don't really research my market because I just don't have time to be researching my market. I believe that I'm in my own, like, I look at it as like I'm in my own league, right? I focus on my agenda. I focus on my task. But I hear it all the time. Like, why are you so expensive? And we all say the same thing. Oh, I think where a lot of detailers fail is once they see the client start to negotiate them or start to, kind of not show interest, right? A lot of the detailers, we see them do this. Oh, it's because I use Coach Kemi, or I use Rupes. I use whatever. We use PNS products, only the best. Whatever, right? I've never understood why you try to use like your products as a way of like keeping that customer engaged. Because one, majority of these clients have zero knowledge of the products. You can literally tell them all these products and they're like, oh, okay, can you still do it for less or something, right? But as a detailer, I think we need to stop going towards that, as if, especially if you're new. We see it a lot. If don't panic and don't start going into like, oh well, we use this and we use this and I'm gonna do this and this and this, or I'll throw a spray wax. If you book today, right? Try to eliminate that, because what's gonna tend to happen is, let's see, the customers don't care what you use, they care about how it turns out. Exactly, right? I could literally go to the dollar store or 99 cent, get a couple products from there, and I guarantee you that car is going to look beautiful, and they would never know, like, this dude literally just used 99 cent dollar products, because at the end of the day, presentation is key, right? A client is going to book you because of you, right? The persona, not the products. Not at the end of the day, the client just wants their vehicles clean, right? I think in the past I've said I wanted to do a video of me going to like dollar store, getting products from there, and then doing a whole interior and then showing it to the client, right? They would not know, right? Only we as detailers truly care about, like, oh, wow, that guy's using some cheap product. Who cares what people think? At the end of the day, use what's best for you. I'd rather have Carlos Serrano with a Max Shine than have Barney Fifth with a Rupert. Results are driven by the detailer, not the product or the tools. Definitely. So now, the question that was asked was, how can I get clients to pay more? And that's just, again, it's gonna fall down to the presentation, how you explain it to your clients. Let the client kind of feel the vibe that you're the right detailer for that project, right? I do things in my business that I feel like not a lot of detailers do. A lot of the detailers tend to not want to waste time with their clients, getting to know them, what kind of cars they like. They just don't want to ask questions. All they do is, oh, here's my website. Pick something from there. You can book through there. All right, thank you. I hope to work with you. Something like that, right? I tend to truly get to know the client, right? And understand their needs and their wants. Once we figure that out, okay, now we can build a package around what you're needing, right? Now we transitioned over to, let's say, 6 years later. My first 3 years, I literally had like a McDonald's menu. I had more packages than God knows what, right? And I started to learn. And here is a tip as to how can I know what my market is, right? And I think I've said it in other videos, and hopefully you guys have caught it. And that is, get yourself a notepad, a notebook, a plain piece of paper. Every phone call you get, when you book it, or if that phone call you get, put it on the side, right? Make like a how can I say this? Like tally it, right? So I'll show you here real quick. Details. This will be like a maintenance. This will be like a wash. Engines, right? So just kind of something like this is just for example. Right here we have details. Let's say somebody calls you for a maintenance, someone just wants a wash, and then this one wants an engine, right? This is like the beginning, right? If you're in the beginning stages of your business, this is how you can start learning your market, right? For me, majority of the times I was getting called for details, so every phone call was a detail, and then somebody was like, oh, I just want a wash, right? And then another wash, right? Nobody wanted a maintenance, and engines I was selling, right? So when I started my business, I was getting called for a lot of details, a lot of washes, and a lot of engine bays. I was basic, right? As we transition, I started to learn years later that now I was mostly getting called for. Now we are, and then I'll put the pricing here as well. And so many years later, I learned that I was literally only getting called for a maintenance wash or details, right? This one here, many of you guys know it as the sauce package, right? Which is just an entry level package. It's a vacuum blowing out the interior, wiping down the interior, conditioning like your door panels. If the customer doesn't want no conditioning, then we just leave it matte, right? And they were calling me for details, right? So in my package, I try to keep it very, very simple, right? You can either choose package A, which is $150 for a basic hand wash, or you get the 350 detail, and that's starting, right? And we'll get to that starting part because I feel like it's an area that a lot of detailers tend to struggle. I'm reading some comments on here really quick. Let's see. Maybe start a key club, whatever key you will pull. Use what you drive home. Get to know the customers, get what their expectations are, get them to see you can deliver what they want, provide value for your charge. If the customer sees and feels the value, they will definitely pay. Detailers swing party. I tie the appointment. Simple is good. So that is another tip, is keep it simple, right? The less packages you have in your business, the better your life is going to be, the better your client's life is going to be. You're going to be a little bit less stressed because you don't have to try to tell the customer, oh, well, I sent you my packages. Some detailers hate having that conversation, and it tends to happen all the time. They have the gold package, the silver and the bronze, but the silver and the bronze literally look identical, like literally. And clients like, well, what's the difference between this and this? And it's like they're literally identical. Maybe the only difference is the silver is gonna get the wheel wells, or the bronze is something like that, right? And the client's like, To some clients, you're like, bro, this doesn't make sense. So once they see that your packages are literally not making sense, they'll literally just be like, I'm all right. Let me go find. Let me call another detailer, right? Now they contact me. I'm the most expensive one, but I keep it very simple. You can choose A or B, those two packages. And a lot of times it tends to happen to where the clients are like, you know what, let me just get the detail. Let me get a detail. All right, perfect. Now we go into, let's see, so many options create confusion. Definitely, dude, you're so right about that. Bronze, silver, gold. Yeah, man, like, I can't stress enough how many detailers inbox me through Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, bro, I need help with my packages. Can you help me?" And I would say probably 75% of every website that I have seen, every price chart that I have seen, and if you're here, watch it. You can, if I've helped you out, you can vouch that I've literally told you guys, like, whoa, that's too much reading, bro. Like, I don't have time to read all that. Simplify it, right? I hate reading. If I hate reading, I want to make sure that my clients don't go through what I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling stressed just reading all these packages, because then now I'm really like, okay, the gold is this. All right, let me go to the silver. And then it's like a whole paragraph of everything that they offer. Let me go. Then the clients are they're already frustrated, right? So just keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. Now, Carlos, how are you getting clients to pay you $600, $700, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for an interior? There is no way that you are getting that amount. And I hear it all the time. Interiors do not make money. And I will never stop preaching that interiors make money if you know how to present it. Majority of these bigger price packages is because they're dirty, right? They have mold, they have infestation, right? Now, I'm very reasonable when we're talking to the client and the packages and the pricing. I tell my clients, look, I may not be the best fit for you right now, and I'm going to be very honest. And I always let it know in writing. The price you're about to get, you're about to probably cuss me out. But the reason that price is high is because, A, you haven't detailed this vehicle in 5 years. There is pet hair all over. There is a lot of buildup. There's a lot of work that I have to do to bring your car back to good standards, right? And I have that conversation with a lot of my clients. I just say, look, there's definitely other options. And I don't know what it is, but when I tell the clients, like, there's other options, go search for them. I don't know what it is, but it's like, if the client's like, damn, he don't care about my money, or he's not trying to budge, I don't know what it is, but it always happens to where the client, like, I tell the client, like, look, there's so many options. Try these people. Maybe they'll be at a lower cost. Just do your research. And it's not that I'm knocking down the other detailers, but it's we're sadly living in different times, so where a lot of detailers, one, they're not knowledgeable in this field. Two, they really don't know what they're doing. They're leaving these cars wet, right? So I just tell the clients, look, my price is this. I fully understand. I may not be the right choice for you because of the cost, and I understand. Finances are a big thing. Finances are a big thing for me as well, right? So you make that decision. I never force a client to book. I just say, if it fits in your budget, if you feel like I'm the right guy, I'd love an opportunity. If not, hey, there's other options out there. Feel free to reach out to them and see what they tell you, right? MC, there's an upgrade to the stick shift, only $199. I also don't let customers try to manipulate my prices or services. They are what they are. You either want it, offering, or you don't. Definitely. So, that's one thing that has made me very successful is, I think, and this is the part where it's like, it's not arrogancy, but it's like, I know what I bring to the table. And there's a reason why they referred you to me, or there's a reason somebody told you about me, and that is probably because if you want your interiors done right, this is the guy to contact. When I get those bad ones that are trash and the price is higher, I also give them the tools and knowledge on how to keep the expenses lower by caring for their own car. Next time, cost is less. Yeah, definitely. Right. So I just know what I bring to the table. But throughout all my years, right, I have been able to build a reputation. And I'm very blessed to say this, and shout out to all the detailers in Dallas who believe in me when they see a rough car. They literally tell the client, like, yeah, I'm not doing it. But if there's somebody that will love to tackle it, his name is Serrano's Mobile. And a lot of the detailers do it. They tell him straight up, he is expensive, but he will get the job done. Right? And shout out to all the detailers out here in Dallas for supporting each other, for supporting me. You know, they'll call me and they'll say, hey, dude, I got a bad one, bro. Like, do you think you want to tackle it? I can tell the client, right, to contact you. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it, dude. You know, I've had other detailers say, hey, can I send you this client? But if you book it, can I come and look and learn how you do this so I can maybe make that kind of money? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, I want to show you how I'm obtaining these higher cost packages, how we're going to get them done, right? Yeah, you may not be making money that day, but don't worry. I usually cut them something. I'm like, here, bro, you know, but you're gaining a lot of knowledge in one day, right? That by the time you leave this free training, pretty much, you leave different. There are picky customers that will argue your prices no matter what you charge. Oh, definitely. Yes, there's a lot of picky customers out there, right? Shoot, if you ever get that feeling where like, man, this client looks like picky, raise the price because it's going to be a headache, right? So I might as well charge this client a little bit more because it's going to be a headache. And it sounds bad, but heck no, I'm going to charge you because you already sound like a headache, right? So you charge accordingly. You bump that price. By the way, JB, good podcast today with Mr. Jimbo. I really enjoyed that one. And also there was Franco with Aileen. They also had a podcast today. Who's winning the Rumble tomorrow? I'm going to go for John Cena. That would drive me crazy with picky customers. No way I could be a professional detailer in this day. Yeah, trust me. I think what I've been blessed with is patience. Patience is key, especially when you're working with a picky client. I will never forget. I had and by no means or form I want to be rude, but I think Middle Eastern would be the word I'm trying to use. Middle Eastern, like Pakistani, right? Let me make sure I choose my words correctly because I don't want to get in trouble and I don't want to be disrespectful at all. But they are the pickiest clients or ethnicity that I have worked with in my life. One, they always call me their friends. They're like my friend. But those are the pickiest clients, and they want to pay pennies. I will never forget when I started. I needed them because I didn't have money. I was a cop. Half of the people I dealt with were a lot more than a but I'll never forget. And it's the cheaper clients that are going to be hassling you when you finish that car. A lot is cultural. If it's normal to barter or negotiate in the cultures, they'll try to get the best deal. Definitely, yeah, not here. I tell them this ain't a big this ain't a Goodwill. But take this for those who are starting. Maybe you're starting your detail business. If this client is already hassling on your price, be prepared that when you finish that car, that client is probably gonna find something in that vehicle to say I need a discount, because their cars are usually trashed. And no matter how good you do, they're gonna find something and say, "Oh, my friend, I did. This is still dirty. Like, I need a discount, right?" And you probably spent like 5, 6 hours on a car that was trash, and you probably charged them cheap already. So not only are you frustrated, you're already probably pissed that you've been there for so long. Now you're gonna be even more frustrated when these clients tend to be picky on a trash car that they already had. And then you're really going to get mad when they say, "Oh, I need a discount," or "I don't want to pay. I don't like it. I don't want to pay." Which leads me to this next section of this conversation. What do you guys do when you get a client that wants a discount or doesn't want to pay you? I'd like to see it in the comments. What would you guys do? Because I'm sure I was not the only one in this scenario. How can we handle a client that wants a discount after hard work, or they don't want to pay you for your services? And I'll definitely read the comments as they're coming in, because this has happened to a lot of us in our business, probably in the early stages of your business. Now, when you're deep, maybe 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, yeah, they gonna pay, because by then, let's see, if they ask for a discount up front, my response is buy. All right, that's a good one. That is a good one. That is very upfront. I usually tell them, if I don't even give my family, my blood, a discount, why should I give you a discount? Shoot, majority of my family knows already. Like, I don't want to work with my family. I don't want to service their cars. I don't want to clean their cars. I don't want to do nothing with my family, because one, they're all picky. All their cars are trash. They don't want to pay, and they're probably gonna badmouth my work, right? Big jobs need half up front deposit something. I think even when I started my business, I never took deposits. And I think that's going to be for another conversation, because it's something that I get asked a lot about deposits. I would pay 10% extra for Carlos to clean my car. Oh, nice. Let's do 30%, bro. I'm down. 4 years ago, I did a full interior and took me over 4 hours. The guy didn't want to pay the bill, and it was over 600. Oh, shoot. Oof. Yeah, 600. I'd be that car was gonna get scratched that day. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. And I wish there was a way, and obviously it's your business, and I'm sure you could do it, to where they do it at restaurants. They take your food order, or, well, no, not restaurants, because, well, yeah, I guess like McDonald's, you order your number 3 and you gotta pay for that right there, right? But I just feel like in our field it's a bit different. It's like, I know for me, I don't like taking the payment until I finish. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've never had a client not pay me, because I've had multiple clients not pay me. What did I do? Honestly, I just say, man, God bless them. Internally, I was pissed. I was frustrated. But if I was to take them to small claims, this is going to be a whole lot ordeal. It's a process. If they don't pay me, I'm like, God bless them. All I can say, I can't be, like, I'm mad for a bit, and then I'm like, it is what it is, right? I've never had to call the cops on a client. I think if I was a different person, maybe, all hell would break loose. They gonna pay. Let's see. You called the police and he went to jail for the theft of services. Yep, you could also do that, yes. I only had one customer refuse to pay. I threw her keys across the street, and it took her a while to find them. What I would do, I take the remote off, throw the remote one side, all the keys they have in the thing, throw them like in different places. Let's see. A lot of your building ability is based on reputation too. Yes, now I can say I've been able to build my rapport to clients that money's not a problem, but they're good paying customers. If you are a high-end detailing shop with a large client base of wealthy people, most of them never question the high cost if you provide. Oh, definitely. I've had clients that, you know, in this business, you're gonna have clients too where, I tell somebody, oh, this package is 350, and they're like, that's it? And I'm like, well, in my head, I'm like, well, yeah, that's like, I feel like it's already premium enough. Or you get those clients that are like, oh, that's a lot, right? Or you have those clients that are like, oh, okay, well, should go ahead and add a wax to it, add an engine bait to it, right? All those kinds of things. But don't ever be scared to really tell your clients like your price. Like, don't be scared. Let them know what your price is. I think it makes sense when you've grown your business and reputation in your market to only take customers with referral. But in the start, you're taking any, and yes, I highly agree. Cheeky Blingy, I highly agree to that. In the beginning, you got to take everything because you have to build your portfolio, right? I have so many befores and afters, probably of every make and model. And this is how I back a lot of my work. Like, I have proof of years of cars that I've done over, golly, probably like over, by now, like 2,000, maybe, cars. For like trash cars, those are the ones I wanted because I needed those to build my reputation, to get these clients to say, oh shoot, like this guy has proof of what he can do to a car that looks exactly like mine, right? So always take befores and afters because that's really going to show really how good you are at interiors. Also, if a person understands detailing, how hard the work is, they don't question it too much because they understand the amount of work you put in. Definitely. Or you get that one that says, I used to detail back in my days, and man, yeah, we never charged that much. Or I didn't charge that much. Man, you're crazy. I'm like, well, shit, that's probably why you stopped doing details, because you got burned out. Right? But interior details, it's, and I'll say, and I'll keep saying this over and over. I think in the next 2 years, if you can master interiors in a couple of years, I honestly believe that we are gonna be making more money. If I'm already making good money, in a couple of years, I'm gonna be making way more, because right now, every detailer that's coming into the market, nobody wants to do interiors, nobody wants to get dirty. They're little princesses. They all want to do paint corrections, ceramic coatings, and that's it. And I'm like, why don't you want to learn? Oh, it's because that doesn't make money. It doesn't pay. Right now, I watch YouTube and I watch other people. They say I need to get into paint correction, and I'm like, do you already have clients? And majority is like, nah, man, I just started. Right? And I'm like, well, why do you want to jump into something that you have zero knowledge in? Like when they come to my class, if they haven't been detailing for a while and they want a correction and coding class, I decline them. I'm like, nope, I'm not fixing to have you waste your money, waste your day, because you're not going to waste mine. I'm going to get paid, right? But you're going to leave this class and you're probably going to forget everything you've learned because you get no clients. You're not working what you train for, right? I usually tell them, like, look, honestly, I would rather you take an interior detailing class. Let's learn the basics. Let's learn the ABCs. Let's start making money here. Let's start mastering this, and then in a couple of months, let's come back and let's see where we're at, right? If I feel like, okay, you've mastered those things pretty good, or you have the knowledge, let's jump into the next phase. Exteriors, corrections, waxes, I mean, you can offer waxes with your interiors, right? But it's steps to the game, and I feel like a lot of people are missing the interiors, and they're just jumping over to like right here. And when you ask them, like, okay, what's a paint enhancement? Um, they're all the same. Like, well, it's a wax. Okay, what's a one step? Um, it's we could do a correction on the paint. And I kind of base like, okay, yeah, dude, you are not gonna get this class because you don't really have the knowledge. You don't have at least the common sense of what you're gonna be offering, and your client's gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm gonna look for somebody else, right? So start here, and then jump to the next thing, and then the next thing would be like PPF, window tinting, wrapping, which I think everybody's jumping to that too. The market is getting very oversaturated, but learn your interiors. If there's anything I can say is master your interiors, because in a couple years you're gonna do amazing. You're gonna be getting some real good money. Let's see. Pros are pros for a reason. You don't ask your cardiologist why he's so expensive. No, I usually don't go. I don't do a lot of cardio. Let's see. The sky's the limit for you, Carlos. When I did detailing part time back in the day, we didn't charge a lot, but we only did wash and wax jobs with a quick cleaning out. Interior people were thrilled with the results, and Mr. Joe Van Cedars, that is an amazing package. That is a package that's gonna make you like good money. It's not something too like above and beyond. It's like it's in a happy medium, and those are packages that do sell very, very well. Let's see. TYLJ. I only do a paint correction every now and then. Again, a paint correction on a car a few months, and we still gain a lot of knowledge and get better every time. Definitely, we had them lined up down the street. Yes, yeah, and those are packages that do really, really well, right? For obviously, like for me and my business, the packages have done just beautifully. They sell for themselves. Is either my 150 or my full interior 350 detail. And the 350 detail, a lot of you guys ask me that same question, like what is included in your interior, right? A lot of you guys tend to say like, oh, my full interior is this, and I'm like, okay, what's your interior? If you're one of those detailers that in your package you offer a full interior, what is included in your full interior? You're like, that's interior detail and that's it, no wash, right? And coming from a car wash background, if I tell you, oh, a full interior, that includes interior detail. Exterior also gets a paint enhancement, right? It also includes a engine bay detail, an exterior wash, right? That package is usually like 650, right? For me, that's a full interior. Other detailers say, oh, a full interior is just my interior, just an interior detail. And it kind of confuses a lot of people, especially. And the reason I do my prices like this is because I come from a car wash, so I know what clients are looking for as far as verbiage, and that's how they understand me, right? I've said, oh, my, they're like, oh, but I want a full interior, a full detail. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, that comes with the paint enhancement, comes with your engine bay. They're like, oh, I don't want the engine bay. Well, I mean, it comes already included. Like, clients think that by taking something off, it's going to be cheaper. And I'm like, no, it's all one package, or you can just do a detail, right? So with my 350, it includes extraction, scrubbing all the interior, cleaning your carpets, your mats, your seats. We steam clean everything as well. Exterior wash, wheels deep clean, tires dressed. The only thing that's not included in my 350 is the headliners. That is separate. That is an add-on, right? this is another way on how you can also make a little bit of extra cash in there, because I started learning that a lot of my clients, or a lot of clients, they don't want the ceiling done because they've heard crazy stories, obviously, that the ceiling falls down. So I started taking off the headliner cleaning and then just not including it, right? If the client wants it, then it's an added $50 to the package, right? So now let's say we're at $400 for a interior detail, the headliner as well, exterior wash, your wheels, and your tires, right? Usually, I tell my clients, hey, while I'm here, you also qualify to get the engine bay at $50. Usually, it's $150 for an engine bay detail, but because you're getting it with a package, you can literally just get it for an extra $50. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Now we are at like 450, right? So we're going from 350, now we're at 450 because these clients just keep adding it on. When you add on in short increments, you have a higher conversion rate than if you're one of those retailers like, oh, this is like, charge them like double. They're like, oh yeah, no, I'm good, bro. But when you raise in increments, you'll have a higher conversion rate on those add-ons. So that's just another tip I could give you guys. Location may have something to do with pricing as well. If you tell Mr. Jones, who lives in the sticks, that a detail costs $500, he'd probably draw down on you. Definitely. I have experienced many Mr. Jones. Headliners still scare me a bit. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna say, I think people always trip out how I do my headliners, and they're like, bro, you're never supposed to extract. And I'm like, look, dude, I've been I've been doing headliners for so long that the way I do it, I know everybody's like, no, dude, you can't do that. And that again falls to, you have detailers who are just YouTubers who have never been in real world scenarios, that they're the ones that tell you, oh, just wipe it down right here, just hit the stains. I'm a detailer who has been out here in the grinds for over 20 years. I know what I'm doing. When people say, oh, don't extract, boy, you'll see me with that extractor just going shoo. You have to know your vehicles too. You have to know the material you're working with. You have to know, like, has this interior ever been smoked on? Because if it has been, a lot of the ashes have probably penetrated through the material, which has burned a bit off the spray adhesion that they have, right? For those, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna be very cautious, because that one, it can fall. There's a lot of these headliners, you can see, especially on Fords, they have like these little, like, on the headliner, you'll see like little like patterns, and that's because it's loose, right? So it's things that I look at to where I know how I'm gonna process that headliner. Let's see, Carlos, do you have an add-on for windshield coatings? How much do you charge? I'd love to spend just one day with Carlos to absorb and learn as I could about his detailing techniques. Sounds like it would be a great learning experience. Coatings, I'll be honest, JB, that is something that I don't offer, because, dang, you got me there, bro. I'm mostly concerned on the interiors. But if I was to add on, like, oh, do you want your glass coated? It would probably be an add-on of like 150, because I would probably have to polish the glass, prep it, and then coat it. And I just wouldn't do just the windshield, because I'm not gonna lie, if I just do the windshield, let's per se this client is getting some amazing water behavior just from the windshield, but as they're driving on a rainy day, these other windows are like streaky, are just sheeting the water like bad. And then it's like, I think for me, I would do all the glass and not just the windshield. But if they just want the windshield coated, maybe like an extra $50. Because at the end, I wouldn't just do a panel prep and coat. I would do more of I'm gonna polish the glass, prep it, and then coat it. But let me know in the comment section, give me some prices. I mean, I'm always open to suggestion on prices. Right on, boss. Thanks for the answer. I'll start trying that. Yeah, man. But this was truly the conversation for today, on interior details, right? I didn't want to just get into different topics. This one was a big one that was asked, and I get excited about interiors. There's just something about them that gets me excited, gets me going. Like, interiors are life. Interiors are greater than exteriors. But it's not for everybody, and I get it. I I definitely wouldn't want JB doing an interior because that dude's like 7'5". Like, he would have more back pain than anything. Did your disaster detail drop yet? Coming soon. It is literally in the back. We started yesterday. That was day 2 on that vehicle. That exterior, I ain't gonna lie, man, there was so much buildup. We ended up using wheel acid on the wheels. They definitely changed colors, like cleaner. I would probably, low key, I was like, I really feel like lifting this car up, taking the wheels off, and spraying wheel acid all on the interior, and like use steel wool and like take off all that grime. But yeah, no, we ain't doing all that. We're just strictly gonna stick to what the customer wants, and that is obviously the interior. It's here for an interior. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna begin the interior phase. So I'm excited about that one. We've started recording some stuff. Why do I keep saying we? Like, I got people helping me record. I already started recording some content for that. But we're gonna start the interior tomorrow. Hopefully, it is the weekend, and I kind of get lazy because I don't work weekends. I am working Sunday for this client just because the weekends is the only day that he's really available. Obviously, always charging just charge a fee if you don't work weekends. But the client's like, oh, this is like the only day. Unfortunately, there's a fee for weekends. I don't like working on the weekends, so I charge a client a fee. I know some people have knocked me out on that one and said, like, bro, you're bad. Like, you're robbing your clients, and no, you're taking time away from my day off, from my family, from activities, from having an angry wife. So if I'm asleep on the couch, I'm gonna make it worth it. You know. But I do charge a fee on the weekends because it takes away time from what I love doing, and that's literally sleeping, watching TV. But yeah, I charge fees on the weekends because I'm not trying to work. I've worked too long in the car wash industry for 17 years, 7 days a week. That when I started my business, that was one goal. I said I did not want to work weekends. I usually work Monday through Friday, and that's it. Shaggy, hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. Weekend fee is baller. I like it. Like, if you're working on the weekends, you should charge. It's time for you to start making money. If you work on the weekends, especially Sunday, on a Sunday, you got a tax. I check out. Did I show you my new shirt? Look, I don't know if you guys can read this, but if it's Sunday, I'm simply stating that I will. On Sundays, I'm taxing that, and I don't know if you guys can read that, but I made this shirt for Dragos, but I made me one. So on Sundays, I'm taxing that ass because I know Jesus would be very mad that I'm working on Sunday. So I gotta charge. But charge accordingly. I think 2025 is a year where you, as a detailer, I hope and pray that you start making money. Right? If you have been struggling financially, I hope that listening to me some way, some form, you're probably like, all right, bro, I'm tired of hearing the same thing over and over, and it's time to to charge accordingly. All of course pricing is different depending on your area and everything. I definitely get that, right? I think I used to be a point where I was like, no, bro, charge, and I was like, then I started learning, like, man, every area is in a different category as far as finances. So I started to really like kind of empathize more on these detailers that truly are like, they do amazing work, but the area that they live in unfortunately does not, financially, they don't have that money, right? And they can only charge $100, right? But charge 120, raise it up by $20. It's time for 2025. I hope that a lot of you guys start making money. And a lot of people say, man, you make it sound so easy, and I was there before. I was there. I can resonate with a lot of detailers. I've been at the bottom. I've been in those dark days too, where, man, I wish I could get more money, but my clients don't pay, right? And I started learning that, maybe my the way I was describing my packages just didn't make sense to the clients. I was offering too much, and I started doing all these different things to where, now I'm able to just charge accordingly. But I also understand that even in my area, not every client is going to have these types of finances to where they can pay somebody $350, $400, right? So depending on how I get the vibe from those clients, there'll be times where I'll just say, look, honestly, look, I'll gladly do it for like 250, right? If that helps if that helps you, right? And you can understand your clients, and that client will love you even more because you care for them, right? And at the end of the day, I've said it multiple times, and I'll, with this, because we're almost at an hour. But at the end of the day, I've learned that in this business, why I got in it, it's not about the money. It's truly because I love doing interior details. That makes me happy. Yes, at times they're bad, they're dirty. But I think the payout out of all of this is that I get to see a transformation on something that looked horrible to something new. And maybe that client did not have that $600, those $800 to give that vehicle a reset. A lot of the times happens that, I tend to ask, like, how did this vehicle get this bad? Or, life happens. A lot of people, especially now, are going through hardships, are going through financial struggles. I've listened to a lot of clients where, man, they used to have a six-figure job. They used to be, banking, and something happened, and now they're truly like on ends meet, kind of. Carlos, I'm glad you don't cough anymore. I was getting worried. You know what's funny? I think it's like a weather thing, but I don't think I have coughed in a while. At least now it's more controllable. Cause yeah, JB, if you're talking about my cough, it's because you remember that cough. So I think it's like a seasonal allergy that I get it. Great. Speaking of coughing, there you go. But at least it's more controllable, right? But getting back to the ending topic of bro, that cough was bad, man. It was. I think everybody was worried. Some people were like, bro, are you dying? And I'm like, not yet. But I'll end it with this. I learned that understanding my clients, sometimes we as detailers, we get blessed more when we do it pretty much almost for free. Because this client is truly going to value that moment, that time with you, that they're going to refer you to their friends, right? And then maybe their friends, I've had some where they'll book a detail, and I can see that financially, yeah, they are in a burden, but they want to get this car clean, right? And I sometimes lower the cost on them, but I get blessed with one of their friends that are like, hey man, you did my friend Tom's vehicle, I just bought this car and I want to get it ceramic coated. Like, what are your prices, right? And that's where I see the blessing, right? The blessing may not always come like next week, but in time, those blessings that you've blessed these other customers will eventually come and bless you 10 times more, right? I'm in this business because I want to see people smile. I want to see clients feel happy with the end results, feel happy that they have a brand new car, hopefully, right? I've seen clients cry when they see their interior. I've had clients hug me because nobody wanted to do their vehicle, but I came and I said yes to a project that probably had no hopes, right? Which is kind of what we're dealing with this Kia that's outside. The more I look at it, I'm like, I really don't even want to start on it, but we gotta get it. We gotta get it done, right? But I greatly appreciate a lot of you guys staying on here. 20 people, 14 people, however many were here today. Thank you so much for joining me this hour. As always, it's truly fun just me coming in for an hour, kind of conversating with a lot of you guys. Hopefully, it's not boring, but more educational. Hopefully, next week we have another topic we can talk about. We got Super Bowl weekend next week. So it's always exciting, right? I never know what we're going to talk about because this is more of like a freestyle. But today's topic was interior details. Again, if there's any topic you wish for me to talk about, you can definitely email me to C as in Charlie, last name Serrano, SERRANO 95@gmail.com. Feel free to email me topics. That's my personal email. If you want somebody to talk to, feel free to email me. Trust me, I will inbox you. I reply very quickly. My phone is always in my hand, literally. But don't ever feel scared. If you want somebody to talk to, hey, that's my email. Inbox me the topics that you guys want to talk about. If you have a specific topic, we'll definitely can do that as well. I'm also working on hopefully bringing other people into the live. I don't know yet, just because it can kind of go all over, and I don't know how the podcast stuff work. I don't call this a podcast. I don't know. It's just me going live once a week. But anyways, I hope a lot of you guys have an amazing day. Tomorrow we are dropping, dang it, I don't have it here, but we are going to be showcasing Jimbo's interior cabin cleaner. I think it's called his interior cleaner. Boy, do I have some stuff to say about that product. So tomorrow we're going to be dropping it. I'll probably drop it like around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. So definitely be on the lookout on that one. It may be a premiere to where we can all conversate. It is a very short but straight to the point video of just giving you guys my input on that product. But yeah, anyways, I hope all of you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for joining me on this Friday night live. As always, God bless you guys. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.